this is a really sad time. A really sad day. I'm not exactly sure what happened. As you can see, it's been a while since I slept, I think, because I ended up when I died way over here. I was basically standing there trying to figure out exactly which way the pipes went and running some pressure pipes back and forth and trying to figure out how to hook up my nuclear power to the pressure pipes to get the hot and cold coolant to go from one place to another. And all of a sudden I died. There was an explosion and it said I died. Now the only thing that I can think that would have exploded was my nuclear plant that was above. But I don't know what happened because I ended up so far away when I respawned. So I'm heading back home in the rain, which doesn't bode well for my disposition here. There's my death down there. Here's my home base marker. I don't see a huge hole in the ground. That's a good sign. Okay. So it doesn't look like the plant exploded. Something exploded though. I wonder if it was the thing that was making my distilled water. All right, let's become a blaze just because I don't want to be attacked while I'm trying to figure things out. And let's head down here. Well, it wasn't that power plant, which I thought it might be. So I think my original guess is probably right. And these fuel rods are getting close. But I think my original guess is probably right. The system I had set up that was making distilled water, yep, there it is. I can see that the thing's gone already. So the steam generator that I had in here was what exploded. Oh, I wasn't watching calcification on it to see exactly how it was calcifying. And this isn't filled, right? No, this is way far from filled. So it must have been just that I wasn't paying attention. It got calcified and boom, exploded. Well, that hurt. Well, it looks like I figured out why my steam generator exploded. Somehow, and I just added this on here, somehow the water, somehow the thing that I had giving water to this got taken off of there. So whatever it had inside of there, it had 10 buckets in it, and whenever it got done with making that into steam, it stopped getting fed water from this tank. So that's why it exploded, I think. It just heated up because there was no water in there. Whoa, I am almost done with this set of the hazmat suit. I've got to make me some more. So I need some more rubber boots and some hazmat leggings and stuff like that. So rubber boots and... oh no, I am almost out of rubber. Well, there's one way to solve that problem. And it's time for... Tree Massacre! Recharge! All done. Hey, D again. Just wanted to give a quick update here. I tried to automate this process a little more, where I have the water going in and getting turned into distilled water. So I changed it so that the water comes over this way, and then I added a small logistics system that is self-sustaining. So this chest I'm going to fill up with coal, and it feeds coal into both solid heat generators and this generator. The generator is actually powering the system by keeping this power junction for logistics pipes going. Whoops, where'd that coal come from? I hope that's only pulling what it needs to. I did have a hopper on here up top here, which I broke, so that's probably where that came from. The hopper was feeding this, and then I was trying to get the hoppers to feed into the solid heat generators, but it just wouldn't do it. So that's why I built a small logistics pipe system here. Basically what's happening is this module here has a quick sort, or this pipe here has a quick sort module in it, which sorts the items in the chest to where they need to go. And then each one of these, I had one Mark IV and one Mark III, and basically that mark part means how many slots they have. 4 has 4, 3 has 3, such and such. I have an extractor module, and the reason that I have that on there is because it's creating ash every time that it burns. Well, not every time, but every once in a while it creates ash when it burns some of this coal. You can see right there. I have that extractor module set to pull that ash out of there, and you can see it's going into the chest over here. So I'm pulling ash out so that it doesn't stop, and I'm feeding coal in as it's needed so it doesn't stop. So now I won't have to keep coming over here and feeding this thing coal every few minutes because these machines have run out. It'll basically sustain itself. Now I pulled all the coal that I had sitting in here out. Let me get rid of this from my inventory. Nice and clean now. So I've got all that. So now the system should work a little bit better as far as getting this distilled water made because it's automated. Okay, here it is, the moment of truth. I have flipped the little switch and turned on my high pressure input. Now what's happening is water from this distilled water drum is going into the system, as you can see. And if I click on this now, there's water in there, distilled water in there. Now it's going to say recognize condensation on turbine, which is slowing it down. That's fine. It's going to create steam soon enough. I've got all my stuff hooked up. I actually turned the reactor on, and I'll go down and show you here. The reactor has the setup now. I've moved my fuel rods from the smaller version upstairs down to here. Excuse me. Now, what's going to happen is core temperature should stay the same because I've got coolant coming. Whoop, 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 whoop. Go back down, go back down. I've got coolant coming in from this side. So over on this side, we've got coolant coming out of that tank and going in. On this side, I put ejector ports, and I actually held them in my hand and clicked on the face that I wanted the liquid to come out of. That sets them so that they are set to a certain face, and they'll eject that way. So now both of these are ejecting to the west. The hot coolant comes out of here, goes up into that tank, and then comes back through and gets fed into the system for making steam. So over here I've got this set now so that hot coolant only comes through here, and you can see all these pipes are interconnected, these pressure pipes, and that's because pressure pipes will allow more than one liquid to go through them at the same time. Pretty cool little feature there for that mod. So the hot coolant is pushed through the pipes and finds its way to this filter, which allows the hot coolant to go in here, and you can see that some hot coolant, because I did flick it on for a little bit, is going across. And now I've got cold coolant on this side. That should be drawn out and put back into the system. So let's do that now. We want this to extract all the time. Same thing for this one. Oops. Extract all the time. Now that's actually going in here back over to this side. And under here we've got our high pressure pipe coming from the other side and the high pressure intake, and you can see that now I'm pulling in the IC2 coolant that's been cooled up here. So it cycles. The distilled water cycles around and makes the steam. The cold and hot coolant will actually cycle around and keep the reactor cool, and everything should be hunky-dory. So if we flip the system on now, we should be able to see cold coolant coming in, hot coolant going out, temperature staying the same, and rather than making energy, it's actually going to make heat units. So the heat units are going to, whoops, go back up. The heat units are actually going to come in here, and you can see that that's being pulled. So it is making hot. Let's see if these are still getting water, but pretty soon they should start doing steam. They should be making some steam here. So let's see, steam generator. Are we working? Steam generators are heating up. I've got to flick that to 1 per tick. I've got that one to 220. That's 1 per tick, 220. So the distilled water is coming in. We should see no calcification in here. These should start making steam as soon as they heat up. Let's go down and check the temperature in here. Make sure that we're still at a good temperature, and we are. It is still pulling out coolant and feeding it in. That's excellent. So this is the first time I've flicked it on and actually let it run to the point where it gets hot enough to make steam. So what we're going to see is these machines up here, there they go. They're making superheated steam now, and that's what we want. So let's see if we can click on this now. We're still seeing the steam turbine, but these are making heated steam now. It's a little scary. It is making heated steam though. Something might not be right here. I don't remember it making that much noise before. There's a lot of noise. Turbine blocked. Oh no. Okay, let's shut her down. Shut her down. Shut her down, fellas. Woo! That is scary. Steam turbine blocked. Why is that? Ejector is in there, so it should be ejecting. Is there something in the way? Hey, it's me, it's D, and I'm back! Oh, God. Okay, so, done a lot of investigating, and actually blown up one. Well, not blown up, but all of a sudden, the reactor stopped reacting to whatever was happening, and I'd come down here and click on this, and couldn't see anything. I think I burned up my reactor. I think I had a meltdown. I must not have had enough coolant going into it. and all the components inside disappeared. I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know if I burned it up. I thought I had enough coolant going into it. I had plenty of coolant going in there, and I still have, all this hot coolant. Well, since that's so full, then maybe that's an indicator that, yes, I did. This wasn't getting processed. That's probably why, because none of this was getting processed. So one of the things that I found out was part of the problem was, and it looks like I took it out of here. I'm going to have to find where I stashed it. But the steam generator, I had it on 220, and it was creating steam, but it was also creating water. It was keeping the water going. I had my fluid distributor on the wrong setting, I think, because it's filled, and it's not sending it back to this tank. So as soon as I take it and put it on distribute, boom, it fills up. So I don't know if this needs to be on distribute or concentrate. I mean, with concentrate here, it looks like it fills up, but it doesn't send it out. So I'm not exactly sure what it needs to be on. Distribute, you would think would distribute it across these things, and it looks to me like maybe that's probably what's happening. But anyway, I've got my steam generator stashed somewhere, because I'm rebuilding all the components of my actual reactor, internal part of my reactor. So once I get that rebuilt, then I'm going to throw the steam generator back in here. As you can see, I've still got hot coolant in there. It's still waiting. So I'll be creating steam as soon as I put it on here.